Hey everyone, welcome back to 5-Day Crypto. My name is Chase. Today is Thursday, March 4th of 2021, and today we are going to talk about Stellar Lumens XLM. Let's go ahead and get started. This is on the 4-hour chart. Usually we don't focus this small of a time frame, but I believe it's becoming a little bit more of importance as of right now because XLM is kind of coming to a decision point. So we have a wedge here drawn, as you can see from our yellow line and yellow line. And we're coming to an endpoint here. Now I have kind of two options drawn. So the green line is kind of option A, which would be sooner than later, which should happen sometime today or tomorrow. As you can see on the bottom of my screen there, March 4th, as I move, like this would be kind of the end game because it's going to run into this line and this line. That's it's squeezing out. So it's either going to have a move to the upside or downside. If it wants to range bound a little bit more, yeah, you can remove this if it doesn't make a bigger decision in the next, today, then maybe it's going to range in this bigger time slot here. And that would take us to like March 7th. See that down at the bottom there? So it's one or the other. See, you can see we have a touch point way back here in the end of January. And up on our top line, we have support for about the past 3 weeks. Resistance. See all the touch points as well? So these are pretty decent trend lines. And you also are using your moving averages as support and resistance. Look at the time it's wicked right down to the 200 line right down here. And so I would expect a move here soon. So that's on the 4-hour. So let's move up in time frames and let's go to the daily and see what XLM has for us now. So going back to early 2021, we moved down all the way to our 100-day moving average. That's our blue line here. We've got a breakout, and then we came back down again, and we held support on the 50-day moving average. That's our green line. We move back up again, come back down, and so far, we're still holding on our 50-day moving average. No candles below here. We got a couple wicks. See the wick here, but wicks tell where the price is gone. Candles, the solid body here, these colors, the solid green, the solid red, tell you where the close is. On a red candle, the close is at the bottom. On a green candle, the close is at the top. So far, so good. We're trying to get back above our 21-day moving average. We haven't really had 2 consecutive candles close above it yet. That's what you want to look for to break out of this 21-day for sure. So that's what we want to look for on that wedge that we just talked about. If we're to break to the upside and get above this 21-day, and if we come back down, we want to test it and bounce off of it and not come back and test it and break through it again. That would not be a good sign. Conversely, you don't want to break your 50-day right away. If we go back down here, you can see we're about 38 cents. You don't want to break 38 cents, on a daily candle. On a wick, we've already done that a few times, right? We've come down to right to the 50-day. So no big issue. If you go down, you just want to hold it as support with the candle body. So 38 cents is your support. About 42.5 cents is your resistance. So let's say 43 cents. We want to break through this with some conviction, and then we can look at where we could go next. Now, on a weekly time frame, it's still looking quite bullish, right? We're still well above our 21 week. Let's go see what kind of move we're looking at. We're still over almost 50% above our 21 week. That's pretty solid. You're still on a strong move if we're 50% above your 21 week moving average. If you come down on this, on any coin, your 21 week is your key indicator to know whether you're going to get support for a bull market or you could be potentially reversing the trend and going into a bear market. Whenever that day occurs in Bitcoin, whatever coin you're looking at, the 21 week EMA, as you can see here, did not break. When you break that with a candle, certainly on a weekly time frame, you are in trouble. So that's what to look for in the future. Now, where could we be going in the next days, weeks, months for XLM? Well, first of all, we have to break out of that wedge that we talked about first, right? If we start breaking back out of that, then we could hopefully continue this run and maybe have another alt season. All altcoins will start running again if Bitcoin can just hold these levels. and stay above its 21-day. So Bitcoin is king. What it decides, the rest of the kingdom must do, at least for now. In this bull market cycle, I do think we're going to start seeing some coins decouple a little bit from Bitcoin and maybe start doing their own thing and maybe start, making its own plans on their own. So maybe XLM is a part of that. Maybe it's going to be Ethereum, maybe it'll be Chainlink, Polkadot, something like that. Something in the top 10 will start to decouple first. We'll see what that is, but that's just my opinion. We'll see what it does. So in the short time frame, we want to see XLM kind of hold this line. You could just use like an imaginary line here, right? We want to not really break down outside of this. This is not like a super duper trend line because you only have a few touch points, right? Maybe a corner here, one wick, maybe you're getting right in here. But usually the stronger the trend line, you're going to have more touch points. Now this is on a weekly time scale. So with a younger coin, Stellar Lumens has been around a while, longer than most, but the move is not very long yet, so we can't really draw a strong trend line. But this is kind of like, you can kind of see what I'm talking about here, right? With just like kind of get a direction that we're headed, right? If you had to pick which way you think we're macro trend going, it's up, right? It's not, you can't really draw this like we're going down. So far we're looking good on XLM. We want to stay kind of within this range. Hopefully this is our bottom for the short time. If we start breaking down out of this, then that's not usually going to be a good sign. But the only way I really see us doing something with a candle, you can see we've wicked down already. So if we start breaking out of this, I would assume most coins are breaking down, and I would assume Bitcoin is certainly breaking down. I don't see that happening unless Bitcoin does that, but that's just what to look for in the big trend. So here you go. Here's a parallel channel. This is called a parallel channel. Usually on a channel, you want to have more touch points than 2. So this is kind of suspect at best. But just if you want to get an idea of a trend, you can kind of see what we do here. Up, sideways, hit the sides, right? You're hitting channels. So your next area to look for depends on when this happens. Now this is on a weekly time scale, so you can see it could take us, what, 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3, about 4 weeks it's taking on average so far to go from the top to back to the bottom, and from the bottom back to the top, and then from the top back to the bottom, right? So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, end of March, if we start moving back up, you can see it's almost at 80 cents there. See that? So if the pattern continues and we get a bounce here and we start going back up, 80 cents is on the cards, according to history. History doesn't have to repeat, but it does often rhyme, especially on a bigger time scale. If Bitcoin holds these levels, coins start moving back up. That's where I would expect our next local top to be for XLM. So that's what I have for you on XLM today. If you're new here, 10 new videos a week, at least 1 live stream a week. We've already done 2 live streams this week, so maybe you're part of that. Maybe you're new. Maybe you want to join us. We have a Telegram, a Twitter, a Patreon if you want to learn more in-depth charts, things like that. Car of the day is a tuned Nissan Skyline GTR. This is the R34 edition, kind of like the Fast and the Furious. Remember that? And our quote of the day, thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate your time. We'll see you on the next video this afternoon. Go XLM.